Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Alicia George. In our top stories, House of Nyabinghi opens Africa Liberation Week. Chinese cyber espionage renews Caribbean security concerns. Colombia mourns child victims of deadly bus fire. And in sports, President of Handball Association works on popularity of the sport. Details of these will follow.
Magnum the energy stuff. Let me stay on top of my life, on top of my world. Let me stay on top of my world, on top of my
Stay on top of the game with the Magnum Tonic Wine. Stay on top of the
Magnum Tonic Wine. Energy when you need it.
Enjoy the comfortable feeling of a great night's sleep and get that oh-so-good feeling only at Quartz with our stylish beds and comfortable mattresses. So come in today and get 20% off select bedding purchases. Plus, get free pillows with select purchases. Visit a Quartz store now and get that oh-so-good feeling only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back. Students of the Siniku Primary School have returned to school, the Parent Teachers Association, PTA, has said. The PTA took a decision last Wednesday to keep their children at home following an incident of vandalism at the school. The decision to return the children to the classroom on Tuesday, May 20th, came following a successful meeting with senior officials of the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, along with CARIB Chief Garnet Joseph and Parliamentary Representative for the Salibia constituency, Honorable Ashton Grano, on Monday. Meanwhile, Acting Chief Education Officer Melina Fontaine appealed to parents to assist in preventing persons in the community from vandalizing the school. We have to work with the teachers and principals, and as a body, decide how we are going to address the issue of vandalism at your school, Fontaine said. The ministry also assured parents that the school's plumbing issue would be addressed within the week, as a plumber contracted in April has already provided an assessment of the school's needs and is ready to begin work. Acting head of the Education Planning Division, Nathalie Constance, said the Siniku Primary School was on the priority list for summer works to include the installation of burglar bars and new windows, as well as the repair of a core house at the school.
It's an African love, Rastafari man, an African love.
2 years ago in May, the Summit Conference of the Independent African States decreed that May 25th, the day on which the historic Charter of the Organization of African Unity was signed, be celebrated every year as African Liberation Day. In keeping with this tradition, the House of Nyabinghi, in collaboration with the Government of Dominica and the National Youth Council of Dominica, NYCD, on Monday, May 19th, officially opened the 51st anniversary of the signing of the Charter under the theme, Youth Embracing African Heritage. President of the NYCD, Josiah Benoit, says to add to the success of this annual celebration, parents and leaders must focus on our African culture and put in place requisite programs so that young people develop a true appreciation of the culture.
Sustainable development is very important to Dominica as a small island developing state. How then are we to ensure that our heritage is passed on to the future generations if the enabling environment for us to teach it to them is not created? It is fundamental that partners such as the Cultural Division, the Government of Dominica, the private sector, and indeed the civil society develop channels by which the young people can be empowered to participate actively in decisions such as the coordination of Africa Week.
Representatives of the House of Nyabinghi believe that although we have achieved political independence here in Dominica, we still lack economic independence and cultural appreciation.
The significance of this theme is to encourage a determination, self-confidence, and independence among youths to enable and foster the creation of great civilizations. It's to proudly acclaim our great African heritage and ancestry, which is wrongly seen to depict just the 400 years of slavery and not the building of great civilizations.
Shaw encouraged young people to study the past to enhance the future. This event was followed by a panel discussion organized by the NYCD. Other activities include African Dress Day on May 23rd and a football match on the Newtown Savannah on Saturday, May 24th. An African Solidarity March on Sunday, May 25th will conclude this week of activities. During the official launch of Africa Week, Acting Prime Minister Honorable Ambrose George expressed concern about the ongoing conflicts in the continent of Africa, particularly the kidnapping of over 200 Nigerian girls by terrorist militant group Boko Haram. Over a month ago, Boko Haram, which translates to Western education is sin in the local Hausa language, abducted hundreds of schoolgirls from a boarding school in the country's northeast region.
I am not suggesting in any way that we must sweep the problems under the carpet. We're in fact saddened and concerned about certain events and conflicts. The kidnapping of hundreds of schoolgirls by extremists has sparked global outrage. However, we have to remain optimistic. Africa is a huge continent with diverse peoples, cultures, and political context.
He further called on Dominicans to celebrate the positive.
When we consider the issues on underdevelopment, the issues of global trade, issues of climate change and the environment, we do in fact share in common many of the difficulties Africa faces. That's why we work together within the context of various international fora.
Meanwhile, Honorable Justina Charles, Minister for Culture, Youth and Sports, pledged the government's continued support to the celebration of Africa Week, noting that the African element is a very important component of our culture and identity.
The effect of the slavery experience is still felt today, as many of us view Africa negatively and our African culture as inferior. On the contrary, we can boast of the positiveness of the black human race. We can boast of our people who kept and passed on special aspects of our African culture. Let us all continue to promote that spirit of brotherhood and love among us.
When we return, more stories.
Introducing the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz has joined with Ashley Furniture, the #1 selling home furnishings brand in America, to bring you the most extraordinary furniture selection at unbeatable prices. It's now easier than ever before to find that perfect furniture piece for your home. And what's more, you can add that special touch with the right accent piece from our range of designer accessories from Ashley. Create the perfect look for your home with the Ashley Collection at Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home. Visit the new Ashley Gallery at our Roseau store.
Welcome back. Residents are being urged to donate blood willingly as there is an ever-growing need for it. The Princess Margaret Hospital Blood Bank Supervisor, Ninki Pierre, made the plea in an exclusive interview with SAT TV on Tuesday, May 20th, 2014. She explained that the process by giving blood is one of the best things one can do, which is very simple and safe, with a duration of between 5 and 10 minutes.
You come in and you get screened to make sure that it's safe for you to give blood. You do your blood pressure, your weight, your temperature, your hemoglobin level, your blood group. Then we go through a questionnaire to make sure that it's safe for you. We ask about your medical history, where you've traveled, if you're on medications, your lifestyle. Remember, it's important to ensure your safety. And of course, we have to make sure that the blood is safe for use. So even after we have taken the blood, we will be doing further testing of the blood product.
She made it very clear that one cannot contract HIV or hepatitis when giving blood, so the public must remove such a notion from their mind. The people giving blood not only care for their family and friends, but for those they do not know, as the blood donated is used on need and urgency, she explained.
After the blood has been taken, we fractionate it. You can break the unit down into several components. So you have the red cells, you have the platelets, you have the fresh frozen plasma, and so from 1 unit of blood you can help at least 3 persons. So this is good news. Then after the blood has been fractionated, we store it, and the platelets will last for only 5 days. So there's a constant demand for that. You have red cells, which will last for 35 days, and the plasma for 1 year. So we always have to have blood available. The whole idea is not to wait until there's a crisis or there's an accident, but to always have blood available on the blank, which is tested.
She noted the best time to obtain safe blood is when there isn't any pressure on the donors. Persons wishing to donate can come to the blood bank at the PMH at any time or call 266-2144 or 266-2118 for more information. Brenton Hilaire, who donated blood to a stranger in need, said he will do so anytime once he is available, since his blood type is O negative and can be used for anyone.
It is a bit, mind-boggling that, I'm rare and I can give to anyone, so at any moment they can call me, but I was assured that I can only give every 3 months, so I don't think it'll be too taxing on my body. First of all, you are giving somebody a chance at life when you donate your blood, and I know a lot of people are scared of it. I was afraid on my initial donation, but after the first time it's rather easy. This second time was a breeze for me, 7 minutes, so I believe anybody can do it.
Medical technologist at the blood bank, Melvin Challenger, noted the screening process is very simple but important to determine if one is suitable for donating blood.
What happens inside there is very confidential. We ask certain questions, certain personal questions, and based on the answer that we get, then we decide if they can give or not. Certain of the questions we ask in generally has to do with the lifestyle and certain diseases that they may get before, if they are serious illness, because also even if we want safe blood, we want to make sure that the donor is safe. The donor is our first priority, to make sure that he's safe. We do not want to take blood from him and then he gets sick because of the donation.
I am Hannah Pear. I just donated blood. I'm a proud blood donor and I encourage everyone to donate some blood.
The blood bank is open from Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. The Ministry of Health, in its efforts to ensure the continued provision of high standards of healthcare delivery at the Princess Margaret Hospital, PMH, has procured a new computed tomography CT scanner. The scanner is installed at the radiology department of the PMH with uninterruptible power supply purchased at a cost of $1,077,930. It provides maximum productivity, uncompromised and excellent three-dimensional image quality, instantaneous visualization of acquired images, while having outstanding clinical performance in the diagnosis of medical conditions. Engineers from Medical Imaging provided applications training to staff of the Radiology and Maintenance departments. CT scan services for the general public are now available. The ministry urges the public to keep their appointments and take ownership of their health to continue living a healthy and productive quality of life as they continue to ensure the continuity of quality health services for citizens and visitors. And in court news, Jefferson James and Ashworth Jr. Abel of Tarish Pit were jointly charged with possession of cannabis and intend to distribute 121 grams of the illegal substance after they were arrested on May 18, 2014 in Canefield. Abel pleaded guilty to both charges, while James offered a not guilty plea. According to the facts of the case, at about 3:50 p.m., members of the drug squad were on mobile patrol, and while traveling along the Canefield Public Road, one of the officers observed a motor vehicle which he had received certain information for traveling westward. The vehicle pulled into the National Petroleum gas station when the officer approached it and asked Abel whether he was carrying any illegal drugs. He told the officer he was. Police found a white plastic bag containing the cannabis under one of the seats in the vehicle, and Abel was arrested. In court on Monday, he was fined $1,000 for possession with intent to distribute the illegal substance. That fine is to be paid by August 19, 2014, or in default, Abel will spend 3 months in prison. There was no separate penalty for possession. The prosecution offered no evidence against James, and the charges were withdrawn. Esan Benjamin of Granby is on $5,000 bond for an indictable offense and was also fined $250 for possession of cannabis. The 22-year-old was charged for intending to defraud revenue from the Customs Department, keeping articles of clothing, a tablet, caps, and other items that were not paid for. That charge is indictable, and a preliminary inquiry is set for September 8, 2014. Laura Williams stood as Benjamin's surety for the indictable offense. Benjamin pled guilty to the charge of possession of cannabis. The cannabis was found in Benjamin's belongings on March 16, 2014 at the police headquarters in Roseau. He offered police the explanation that the cannabis belonged to him, adding, "I am a smoker." In mitigation, his attorney Peter Allen begged the court to be lenient, noting that his client had cooperated with police. The $250 fine is payable by June 19, 2014, or in default, Benjamin will spend 1 week in prison. Meanwhile, Junior Charles, also of Granby, was charged for attempting to defraud the Customs Department for failure to pay for chargeable goods. Some of the items Charles had in his possession included a 42-inch flat-screen TV, clothing, 3 hats, Nike sneakers, a Sony PlayStation, and a tablet. He too was placed on $5,000 bail and is to reappear in court on September 8, 2014 for preliminary inquiry. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.